You will be watching a video on the Test 1 review. You should have already completed the review. This is intended for you to go through and correct your answers with a pen or colored pencil. Number 1, 6 plus negative 2. You need to make sure that you modeled this in some shape or fashion. We have 6 positives and 2 negatives. We need to make sure that we circle the 0 pairs. So in this case, I can only circle 2, which leaves me with an answer of 4 positives. So my answer is 4. Number 2, 5 plus negative 12. I have 5 positives and 12 negatives, circling all my negative pairs. In this case, there were 5, and it leaves me with negative 7. So my answer is negative 7. Number 3, 8 plus negative 15. Again, modeling 8 positives, 15 negatives. Since I have positives and negatives, I need to circle my 0 pairs. I had 8 of them, so that left me with a negative 7. Number 4, negative 10 plus negative 2. So I have 10 negatives and 2 negatives. I don't have positives and negatives, so I can't make a 0 pair, so I count them all up. I have negative 12. Number 5, 14 minus 17. I model this with 14 positives, 17 negatives. I circle all my 0 pairs, and in this case there's going to be 14 of them, and that leaves me with 3 negatives. So my answer is negative 3. Number 6, negative 6 times negative 3. A negative times a negative gives me a positive answer, so 6 times 3 is 18. Number 7, 8 minus a negative 7. I read this as positive 8 and the opposite of negative 7, which is positive 7. So when I model it, I have 8 positives and 7 positives. So I have no 0 pairs, giving me an answer of 15. Number 8, negative 8 and the opposite of negative 9. So that would be a positive 9. So I have 8 negatives, and now I have 9 positives. Circling all my 0 pairs, there will be 8 of them. I'm left with 1 positive. Number 9, negative 18 times negative 2. A negative divided by a negative gives you a positive answer. So that gives me a positive answer of 9. 40 divided by negative 10. A positive divided by a negative gives you a negative answer. So my answer is negative 4. Number 11, 6 times negative 4. A positive times a negative gives you a negative answer. So my answer is negative 24. Number 12, negative 8 times negative 5. A negative times a negative gives you a positive. So my answer is positive 40. All right, Stephanie worked the following problem incorrectly on her homework. At which step did Stephanie make her first mistake? So the problem reads 5 plus parentheses 3 plus 2 close parentheses squared divided by parentheses 4 plus 1. So in step 1, she simplifies the 2 parentheses, and her new problem is 5 plus 5 squared divided by 5. In step 2, she simplified the 5 squared and arrived at the problem 5 plus 25 divided by 5. In step 3, she simplified 5 plus 25 and arrived at 30 divided by 5. In step 4, she simply divided and got an answer of 6. Your answer choices are step 1, because you should do exponents before addition. Step 2, because 5 squared is 10, not 25. Step 3, because you should do division before addition. And step 4, because 30 divided by 5 is not 6. The correct answer is C, step 3, because when following PEMDAS, you must divide before you add. Simplifying. Number 14, 10 squared divided by parentheses 6 times 4 plus 1. So according to PEMDAS, I have to do parentheses first, and inside the parentheses I'll do multiplication. My new problem reads 10 squared divided by parentheses 24 plus 1. I'm not done with the parentheses yet, so I have to add. My next problem is 10 squared divided by 25. Now I'm going to do the exponents. So 10 squared means 10 times 10, which is 100. So now I have 100 divided by 25. Now I can divide, and I get the answer of 4. Number 15, parentheses 4 plus 3, close parentheses, squared, minus the square root of 16. I have to do the parentheses first. Inside the parentheses is adding, so I'll get 7 squared minus the square root of 16. Now I'm going to square the 7, and that means 7 times 7, so I take and get 49 minus the square root of 16. Now I'll take the square root of 16, which is 4, because 4 times 4 is 16, so I have 49 minus 4, and my final answer is 5. Number 16, 9 cubed. What that means is 9 times 9 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81. 81 times 9 is 729. Number 17, 16 to the first power means 16 one time, so my answer is 16. Number 18, 7 to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is always equal to 1. 19, 1 to the 8th means 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is equal to 1. Word problems. Number 20. Marcia has 10 negative integers and 6 positive integers. Draw a picture to represent what the value of her tiles would be if she added them together. So you'll have 10 negatives and 6 positives. You circle the 0 pairs. In this case, there will be 6 of them, and I'm left with 4 negative tiles, so my answer is negative 4. Number 21. Greg buried a treasure box 10 feet below his doghouse. He hid the map to find the treasure box in the top of the doghouse, which is 4 feet tall. How far apart are the treasure box and the map? So I draw my ground, draw my picture box, or my treasure box, draw my doghouse, I put in my labels. My treasure box is negative 10 feet because it's below the ground. The doghouse is 4 feet. So I have 4 minus a negative 10, which is 4 and the opposite of 10, negative 10, which is positive 10. So I will now have a sentence of 4 plus 10, which is 14. So my answer is 14 feet apart. Number 22. The temperature in Anchorage, Alaska was minus 74 degrees Fahrenheit at 7 a.m. The temperature in Houston, Texas was 150 degrees warmer at the same time of day. What was the temperature in Houston? So mathematically, minus 74, positive 150. Pictorially, I have a thermostat, negative 74 down at the bottom, and then it's raising 150 degrees. I didn't raise to 150 degrees, it just warmed up 150 degrees. And so my answer is positive 76. I'm actually going to subtract those two numbers rather than add them together. Modeling exponents. Which figure represents 5 squared? Well, we know that 5 squared means 5 times 5. So I need to look at my answer choices. And the only one that gives me a 5 by 5 square is answer choice A. Number 24. Which figure represents 2 cubed? 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2. So I look at my answer choices. I have to have some sort of 3-dimensional object because it's 2 cubed. So the only one that has a 3-dimensional object is answer choice D.